Hello, everyone. So, the first two episodes of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, have just dropped on Amazon Prime. Both episodes are about an hour and 5 minutes long, so definitely set aside some time to watch both of these episodes if you're planning to watch it right away. Of course, I'm gonna try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. This is my review for the first two episodes. I'll do another review for the entire season when all the 8 episodes have aired. And of course, from week to week on my Instagram, I like to post, of course, just my thoughts of the newest episodes. I'll definitely be doing that if you want to keep up with, again, my thoughts of what I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings as it continues on through the season. But yes, without further ado, let me get into a review for these first two episodes. So this is an epic drama set thousands of years before the events of Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and it follows a large ensemble of characters from different races, both familiar and new, as they confront a long-feared reemergence of evil in Middle-earth. So you name a race, we have it in here thus far. We have the Half-Foots, we have the Elves, we have the Dwarves, we have a team of humans. Of course, too, they're going to end up bringing in more characters as it goes along. I don't want to say too much again, just for spoiler's sake. But, okay, so 8 episodes, cost Amazon almost $500 million to put out. I know it's been long anticipated for me. I love fantasy. I love myself Lord of the Rings. And I was really interested to see, too, how all these different we have so many fantasy projects coming this year, and of course the two big ones are House of the Dragon and of course now Rings of the Power. So I was really excited to see how these two were going to feel different, look different, all those things. And okay, so to get into it now, do I think that the $500 million budget is worth it? As of what I can see from these first two episodes, 100% yes. The CGI that they've put into these episodes when it comes to the creatures, the battle sequences, the landscapes, just it is beautifully, mind-blowingly god tier. I swear, like the first 5 minutes, and of course, as the entire two episodes went for their full runtime, I swear I was watching like IMAX movie quality. It sounds unreal, looks unreal, feels unreal. It's acted amazingly thus far by everyone in it. Just a super diverse cast of characters, and they really get into, again, the customs, the lore of all of these different races of people. And again, just let them thrive and bounce off each other in terms of conflict, understanding, friendship rekindling, friendship breaking apart, just love, and how again these customs all have their place in the world. And even though there's so much conflict within Middle Earth, again, just to how all of them have come as a people, come as individuals. They've shaped this world so well done, and easily some of the best world building in the first two episodes of any show that I've seen in a long time. I'm really impressed with what they've able to pull off. And of course, too, as most people, I had a little bit of nerves because Lord of the Rings is massive. I had a lot of nerves going into how Amazon was going to tackle this. Or I should really say Patrick McKay and John D. Payne, the creators of this show. Just again, all those nerves about, is it going to be faithful to the Tolkien universe? Is it just basically going to be using the name as a terms of, again, just a selling point for Amazon? This looks, feels, sounds everything like Lord of the Rings to me, and I am so impressed by these first two episodes and what they've put out. The soundtrack is done by Bear McCreary, who you may recognize. He did the most recent soundtrack for God of War, which was released in 2018, and I love that soundtrack and just that amazing, just kind of Dwarven and Norse feel that he has to his music, of just extremely powerful vocals and drums and bass makes their way into this. And there's a song in here called Khazad-dûm. I know that might get some people excited, and of course just seeing Khazad-dûm in its whole glory was something truly spectacular and amazing. But the soundtrack is unreal good from what they've put on so far. I know Howard Shore did have a bit of kind of input, and he did work on the soundtrack a little bit, but what Bear is doing right now is absolutely stellar and incredible, and it feels, the visuals, and of course the world that is on the screen as we're watching. I'm again too just loving all the setup that they're doing with characters, new and olds. Like Galadriel and Elrond are an absolute joy to watch on the screen. I'm really loving both of their arcs. New to some people, but if you've played some of the video games and whatnot, it's Celebrimbor. Oh, I'm so excited to see his arc in this as well. Costume design, set design. The set design is again some of the best that I've ever seen in a TV show. It is movie quality, Lord of the Rings Hobbit movie quality. It looks beautiful and amazing, and all the costume designs, especially too how much costumes they're able to throw onto the characters, is something truly special too. And just the stories that are woven into people's armor, dresses, amulets, jewelry, swords, like weapons, all of that is, again, there's a story within the costumes, a story within the landscapes and the architecture of the buildings that they have in it, the landscapes and how it shaped the people, like the Half-Foots, how it shaped the dwarves, how it shaped the elves and their homelands. It's, again, it was just mind-blowing, and it feels so true to what I've always wanted Lord of the Rings to be, and what I've always known Lord of the Rings to be as well. It's so fucking impressive what I've seen so far in these first 2 episodes. Again, too, as the show further goes on, I really hope it can keep up this momentum, because again, too, I'm just so impressed by everything they put on. All the creatures and the action sequences that they have, and even too, just when it comes to the quiet moments, the cinematography is beautiful, very, very well done and impressive to watch. And just again too, when it comes to the world building and having these creatures again shape the world, have the characters shape the world, and the events both like past that they've shown that came kind of from the first age of men and now transitioning into the second age has been something really, really cool. And again too, just seeing all the customs, especially the scenes in Khazad-dûm with Elrond and the Durin line, has been really, really, really amazing. There's a bunch of artifacts and whatnot that they still have to explain, but I'm so excited to see how they're going to relate to, again, what came before the Second Age of Man and what's going to come after the Second Age of Man. It's, oh my goodness, again, I can't hype up these first 2 episodes enough, and I do truly think that what they've been able to do so far makes this worthy of any fan of fantasy, and especially Lord of the Rings, to get Amazon Prime and get excited for what's to come for the rest of this season, because as of right now, there isn't really anything that's going to knock down my score. Of course, too, there's just nerves about where the story's going to go, but I have faith after these first 2 episodes. Of course, too, just the nerve is always there. You want it to be true to Tolkien, and it truly feels true to Tolkien right now in my eyes. And again, just too, from my knowledge of it, very, very impressed with everything that they've been able to put onto the screen so far. There's only really one thing within this show that kind of made me think, oh, that wasn't maybe the best shot thing, and it's just something to do really quickly with a human mother and her daughter in the second episode, where I found the filming was a little cutty, and that's really the only thing that I can again knock the show on so far, because everything just feels absolutely amazing. The actors are giving unbelievable performances. There is a bit of exposition, especially within the first episode, but I found it was so important for the world building of the show and what it needs to do, and it definitely too just to get its feet walking, starts jogging, and I feel like they're gonna go sprinting really, really hard here in a little bit. So again, with everything taken together, I am going to have to give the first 2 episodes of the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, and Amazon Prime a 9 out of 10. I'm so impressed with what they've been able to do so far, and I'm trusting them now after, of course, seeing these first 2 episodes. It's really, really good. I haven't been able to, the soundtrack's been booming through my mind. Where the story's going to go has been booming through my mind ever since I watched it. It's even to like before I was about to film this video, it took me about half an hour to do so, because I was just thinking about how much I loved it and where everything's going to go. Really, really, really enjoyed this series. And again, too, I'm going to recommend it to any fan of Lord of the Rings, and of course, to any fan of fantasy. If you had nerves like me, watch it. I don't think you're going to anymore after this, because this was pretty damn great and special. So if you've seen the first 2 episodes of The Lord of the Rings of Power on Amazon Prime, please let me know what you thought about them in the comments down below. And of course, if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up. And you can check out everything I do on the channel through the playlist down below, and I'll link on the top here for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing, turn that little ringer on so you know when I upload new videos. If you want to check out the description of this video on my channel bio, there's a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome with this world. So you can definitely join that amazing community. I'll make it even more amazing than it is already. And yeah, just awesome, guys. Cannot wait for the rest of the season.
Sky blue eyes, I see a world behind them. No more time sinking into the side.